Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the live webinar today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start your and market your business without selling. Everybody is scared about the selling aspect of every business, and especially if you're starting a home business, you have to have clients, right? You have to have customers, and in most businesses, you have to go out and do some selling to do that. We're going to show you how to teach people how to start a business without any selling at all. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself so you kind of know who you're talking to here today. My name is Patrick Phelps. I am the CEO and the founder of American Business Systems. And if you haven't been to our website, it's right down there below, absystems.com. So go check us out there if you just somehow got invited to this webinar or just stumbled across it somehow. I'm the chairman of the board of an organization called MRMA, MRMAA. That's Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It's the nation's largest network of medical revenue managers. And it is an organization that basically certifies you when you go through our training, which I'll tell you a little bit more about here in just a few moments. Now, let me back up here just for a second because I think my screen is not actually showing that slide. Here it comes. There's MRMA. Okay. And by the way, if you haven't found the question box, here's the slide that I was supposed to show a while ago, showing you exactly where you can type that in. We don't use the chat box now. We use the actual question box. And let's see, Rocco is from, Christine and Rocco is from Orlando. Great. Okay, so let me get back here to the slides. I'm also on the editorial board, by the way, of the BC Advantage magazine. Now that BC stands for Billing and Coding. This is a print magazine that goes out to 40,000 subscribers a month. And I usually have an article in just about every one of those. That's my article right there in that middle cover that you see there. I'm also a published author. There's 3 books out on Amazon that you can go search for right now and find them. We're going to be talking about one of them there in the middle as we get into the webinar today. Again, I'm just kind of establishing who I am so you guys kind of know if you've not been on one of our webinars before. We've been doing this, by the way, as a company, American Business Systems, for the last 23 years. Yeah, 23 years. That's a long time ago. And during that time, we've maintained an A+ rating. That's the highest rating that you can get with the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau. So you can go check us out there as well. What we do is basically teach people how to use our cloud-based system that I'm illustrating here with these screenshots. It runs on any computer system in the world, any tablet, any iPad. You can even see it on your iPhone if you wanted to. And this is a cloud-based system, which means you can log in from anywhere, anytime that you have an internet connection. You could be on the beach in Hawaii and running your business, which we have licensees that I've interviewed who've said that that's exactly what they've done. Taking a vacation, they take their laptop with them, and they just run it right there out of their hotel room in the hotel that they're staying in. Now, we do live training classes, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to show you towards the end of the webinar here a little bit more about the one that's coming up in January. If you are interested in our business and want to find out more about it, you can go to our website, engage with the person who sent you this email inviting you to this webinar, and we'll answer all your questions. Hopefully today I get you excited about the fact that you don't have to do any selling with our business. It's literally one of those businesses that sells itself. I told you that you got certified. At the end of the training, you'll get a certificate that says you are a certified medical revenue manager. That comes from the MRMA organization. And folks, that gives you great credibility. It's the only licensing and training that you need to be in this business. All right, well, let's get to the topic today. I see Ty has typed in he's from Colorado, so thank you for doing that, Ty. I'll also look for anybody else that wants to type their city and state in that question box that I haven't read already. So let's just talk about this just for a moment, because when you think of selling in general, you're usually thinking about something specifically about how to go out and get clients, right? By the way, during the webinar, if you want to type in questions now in the question box as well, you can do that. I see Ashok has typed in there from San Jose. So thanks for being here on the webinar. Okay, and so just use that same box, folks, to type in questions or comments during the webinar, and I'll address those. Ray says he's from Joshua, Texas. That's just down south of the Fort Worth area. Okay, is this what you think of when you think of selling? It's this. I just typed in Google Images, type in sleazy salesman. This is the guy that you get. Folks, selling is one of those things that turns a lot of people off. And I don't even think of myself as a salesman. I'm a good talker. I like to share the good things about this business with other people, but we don't try to sell anybody on getting in the business. It's either something that you're interested in and you want to see what it's all about or not. And so we leave that up to you, but we do want to give you all the information that we can to find out if it is the right business. So today, I'm going to talk about how to market your business without selling. So we have some no selling marketing secrets that we're going to share with you today. These are some of the ways that we teach in our live training workshop for licensees to go out and engage with people in their community to find clients. But again, there's no selling involved, as you'll see as I describe each one of these as we go through this. So let's start with step number one, which is, as you can see here, how to get in front of a doctor. Yeah, that's pretty important that you know how to get in front of a doctor. Now, those of you who are wondering, how in the world have you figured out how to get in front of a doctor? Well, you are right in asking that question, because think about it. Doctors are very busy people, right? You don't just walk in. In fact, to get an appointment with your doctor sometimes takes 3 weeks to 3 months, right? So how in the world could we engage with a doctor when they don't know who we are, they don't know what we want to talk about? You're going to be amazed at what we've learned and the secrets I'm going to share with you today on this webinar in the last 23 years of doing business in this industry. Well, one of the ways that we do that, of course, is to teach you to utilize our pre-designed, professionally designed full color marketing materials. We have flyers shown here, some of them, that you're going to actually be using when you go out and talk with the doctors, leaving things behind if you engage with them in person, mailing them to them, emailing them to them. They're available electronically as well. And so each one of these describes one of the ancillary services that you can offer to doctors. And again, we don't have time in this webinar to go into every one of these, but they're all on our website, and you can read more about them there if you engage with us on the website and fill out the little form there by clicking the little orange button. But I am going to tell you that one of the ways we teach during that live workshop is what's called warm marketing. Now, all that means is that we're going to teach you how to connect with people in your community, that is, with other people who might be good referral partners, because there are people in your community, believe it or not, who will engage with you and introduce you to doctors that they know. You may not know any doctors right now that you could look for as a client, but there are people who do, and we're going to show you how to engage with them. We do that through a very special method using a flip chart like you see here on the left, or you can do it electronically if you have an iPad or a tablet of some kind or a laptop. And we'll show you how to make a presentation to the people that you engage with in certain ways that we teach you to do that tells them about what you do for doctors. In other words, it gives them an overview of your billing practice and your medical revenue services that you have to offer to doctors. And by engaging with those people and telling them what you do, that sometimes gets the gears working in their head, and they think of the doctors that they know. Sometimes it's just their own personal doctor that they happen to know are struggling with a bunch of paperwork every time they go in. And so they're going to share those names with you, introduce you to those doctors, and get you right in front of them face to face. Hold on just 1 second. I wanted to get a copy of a book here to show you. This is a book by Entrepreneur Magazine. Now, I wished I had here's one right here. I have an actual copy of a magazine. You've probably heard of this before. It's been on the, now I'm holding this up to the webcam for those of you who are not paying attention to the screen, but if you want to see what I'm talking about, Entrepreneur Magazine's been out for, oh goodness, 30 years at least. It comes out every month, of course, and it's all about people who want to start a business. Well, they publish a series of books. Yeah, and this is it right here. You can see their name up in the corner there, Entrepreneur. They're called startup books, and one of them is called Start Your Own Medical Claims Billing Service. Now, you'll see that in our business, we're going to teach you how to offer the doctor a whole lot more than just doing their billing of their medical claims. But I bring this book up because it's a good overview of the industry. It validates the fact that there is an industry and a market out there for these services. And guess what? We found this out when we ordered this book just to see what it said, that we were actually listed right here in the book. That's right. Under medical claims software clearinghouses and business opportunities, there it is, American Business Systems. So we didn't ask or pay even to put that in the book, but you can find out more about it from that book. You can find this book on Amazon.com. Just type in how to start your own medical claims billing service if you want to just order that to find out. Now, to be honest with you, there's not enough information in that book for you to get one started. I'm sure you could if you wanted to. There are people who've started their own business. My wife and I started our own medical billing business back in the late 80s before there was anything out there or any other company offering to teach you how to do that. So we had to learn it all on our own. So it can be done. But anyway, it'd be a good validation of what we're saying here today. Okay, let's see. I lost track where I'm at. Oh, here we go. Now, here's another way that we're going to get you in front of doctors. We're talking about how to get in front of a doctor, right? One of the ways is to be introduced to a doctor by somebody in your community who also perhaps has doctors as clients. Now, think about that for a moment. Can you think of anybody, any business in your community that engages with doctors? How about CPAs? How about financial planners? How about bankers? How about realtors? There's all sorts of people when you start thinking about it, right? Anybody who markets or sells anything to a doctor would be a good partner for you. That will get you right in front of the doctor, and then you can make the same presentation to the doctor that we've worked out for you that shows exactly what you do. You just follow our script, basically word for word. Now, here's another way that's even easier. We have a nice presentation made up for you. You can see it in the background of this picture here if you look real closely there. It's just a very generic booth for expos and trade shows. And we lend that out to our licensees at no cost. And you put that up in the booth, and then the doctors come and see you. Now, it doesn't have to be necessarily a medical show of any kind or convention, because doctors are just human beings. I know you find that hard to believe, but you could hold one at a home and garden show, for example. And doctors who are on their days off going with their spouses to these things, wandering around, will see your booth and stop and talk to you. That's how you can get in front of a doctor. They come to you. It doesn't get any better than this. We have all the materials, of course, that you'll need to hand out at those expos. We have a whole section in our live training workshop where you show you how to find those in your community, engage with the people, set up the booth, everything you need. And we got videos that teach you step by step how to do this. But folks, believe me, this works. For licensees who've actually tried this, they've said this is the easiest way to get a huge bowl full of leads. You know how you put your business card or fill out a little slip and put it in these bowls, fish bowls, as you walk around to these expos and conventions? Yeah, that's how you'll gather up lots and lots of leads that you can follow up on. And we're going to teach you exactly how to do that too from these expos. So guys, again, there's no selling here. You're talking. You have to kind of know a little bit about your services, of course, to be able to engage with the doctors and stand there and talk to them. But we're going to teach you everything you need to know in that 1 week live training workshop. Plus, we have ongoing trainings that we do for our licensees every week on Fridays. So you can continue to learn everything there is to know and educate yourself. We have a licensee website that has dozens and dozens and dozens of videos teaching you every aspect of this business. You can watch those over and over again at your leisure on your iPad or your cell phone, or anytime you have a free moment. By the way, one of the ways we're going to teach you to do that is using a book. This is the foreword from the book, and I'm going to show you a copy of that book here in just a second. But we're going to allow you to put your name inside that as if you wrote the foreword. It's a very generic foreword that we've already written. But look, see right down here in the right-hand corner, there can be your name and your contact information. I'll show you how we utilize that here in just a second. Now, another way we do it is getting you in front of a doctor is using what we call our automated follow-up system. we have a way, an online cloud-based system, folks, that actually lets you design and send out personalized greeting cards and postcards to the doctor's offices. That's right, it's online, and it does it all just with a push of a button. It's a fascinating system, and we've already got the cards designed. You don't even have to design them, but you can change them any way you want to and design your own. In fact, there's over 15,000 templated cards that are ready for you to alter any way you want to and personalize it to get to the doctors. We can tell you how to use this to get the doctor's offices. See what this does. It's an automated system. It sends out these cards once a month or however often you want to, and it puts your name and what you do in front of the doctor and the office manager. Every month they get this card, and it's got your name and logo on it. There's no better way, folks, to market to doctors than to let them start learning who you are and what you do over a period of time, and that can cost you as little as $10. Yeah, for the whole campaign. It's just a fascinating system that we've got for you to do automated marketing. Folks, this will get you in front of a doctor. We've had stories galore from licensees who've said, I did exactly what you told me to do. I forgot all about that doctor that I met at some trade show or something, but I had them on the automated system. And at one point, they picked up the phone and they called and said, hey, I've been getting these cards from you, and the doctor says we need to look into outsourcing our billing. Can you come talk to us? Guys, from a marketing standpoint, it just doesn't get any easier than this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Social media. Folks, I love social media, although I don't have a Facebook presence, and I've never tweeted anybody in my entire life, but my son maintains our Twitter account and our Facebook account and our YouTube channel and all those things. We utilize everything, and we teach you how to use those things to engage with the people in your community, again, that could introduce you to a doctor. And of course, there's doctors out there on those platforms as well. So we know the latest things that you should be doing to maintain your presence out there in the social media world. That will get you in front of a doctor at some point. Now, folks, none of these are magical overnight things. We've had licensees come through our training who, they may have been with us for 3 or 4 months and still don't have a doctor as a client. Why? Because some of these methods take a little time. But when you do sign up a doctor, you're looking at residual income of several $1,000s a month in some case, over and over again, month after month after month. So is it worth the effort to get a client like that? This is not like some businesses. You go out and you get the client and it's a one and done. Have you ever heard that term, one and done? That just means it's a one-time sale of whatever, and then it's done. And you have to move on. You got to find a new client. Well, with a doctor that you're doing the billing for, that doctor sees those patients month after month after month. It's pretty regular. It's pretty steady, the number of patients that they see. And we can show you how to tap into that and build a nice residual income for yourself and your family. All right, here's another way to get in front of a doctor. We do and teach you what are called educational events. Now, these events can be little small group gatherings like you see here, where you could just give a little presentation of some sort. We've got all those presentations already worked out for you, by the way, several slide decks that we've designed just for that. Or it could be just what's called a lunch and learn. You just go into the doctor's office, bring in a lunch for them. That could cost you $50, $60 maybe for some sandwiches. And you basically have their attention there for a half hour or so to be able to tell them what you do. And hopefully engage them in what we call our practice analysis, which lets you gather information, take it back to your computer, run a little report that we've got a spreadsheet for. And then when you come back, you show the results of that. I'll show you a copy of that here in just a second. These educational events are wonderful ways to get in front of doctors and their staff and explain what you do. We'll show you how to advertise these, how to get the people to invite you to come to them or to show up at them. And we've had crowds of 35, 40, 50 people show up at some of these for our licensees. Very successful way of getting in front of a doctor. Now, I'm going to just glance here in the question box and see if there's anybody who has any questions. Let's see. Here's a shock says, how do you decide which shows you will get the booths in? Then how do you decide which licensees can come to that booth? Oh, okay. So let me back up here, Ashok. That's a great question because I assume way too much on these webinars. Folks, when you sign up as a licensee of American Business Systems, you're basically buying like a franchise, but we don't have any restrictions of territories, no ongoing royalties and so forth. So it's your own business. You literally will set up your own company name and create your own entity that you are marketing through. And so you are going to be the one that we're going to teach how to set those booths up in those meetings and where to find the meetings. Again, can't go into real detail, Ashok, today on this webinar about that, but we have ways of finding out where those meetings are being held in your area. There's some probably in your area this week, every week, probably. You just don't know about them because you're not, involved in going to trade shows. But we're going to show you how to find those, and then you're the only one who will be at that. No other licensee, if there are any others in your area, even they're not involved in that. That's your show. Yeah. Now, Serafina says, what are you selling? Okay, Serafina, that kind of indicates to me that you may not have gone to our website and checked out what we do there. Again, even though I'm teaching you today how to market your business without selling, I'm actually doing that today because you don't hear me try to sell anything. I am trying to show you that you can get involved and start your own business, helping doctors with their revenue, their cash flow. And you do that by doing the billing to the insurance companies and to Medicare for their insurance claims. And you can make a very, very nice income doing that. I encourage you to go to our website and do a little bit more research there on that. And that'll all clarify for you. She says, I don't get the point yet. Okay, Serafina, I'm sorry. I don't know how you got invited to this webinar, but really, I'll get to the point eventually here. You'll see. I'm trying to show you that you can come to our live training workshop and start your own business. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's see. Enoch says, has anyone ever failed using the ABS concept? Yes. Enoch, people have failed in our business, just like in every business. If I told you otherwise, or if anybody else tells you otherwise, they're probably lying to you. Now, having said that, I will say that failure and success is all defined by you. You have to decide what success is. For some people, I've got people who are doing billing for over 300 doctors. They would think that somebody who's doing billing for 10 doctors as a failure, right? But the person who's doing the billing for 10 doctors could be making over $100,000 a year. So it's not necessarily failure. If people follow our system, it's a proven system. It works every time. Failure is not an option. Having said that, are there people who buy opportunities over the internet, go home and put it on the shelf and don't do anything with it? Yes, that has happened. I wish I knew how to motivate those folks. I don't know how they could invest the money in our license fee and then not do anything with it, but it has happened. And so all we can do is just tell them, look, we're here for you. We will strategize with you. We'll have brainstorming sessions. We will literally hold your hand until you get that first client. Because folks, once you get one doctor, those doctors know other doctors, and the referrals automatically come to you. So it's just a matter of doing what we say to do. Okay, let's see. This is Paramesh. Different doctors are, Pramesh. Different doctors are using different interfaces for billing. When they move to ABS, do they need to update their interface, all existing system, and go through trainings? Now, that's a great question. We do have a cloud-based system that we think technologically is way ahead of anything that's out there. However, we have licensees working with doctors on their current system as well. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. Eventually moving them and showing them the advantages of having our system. look, we can get their rejection rate on those claim submissions down to less than 2%. Nationwide, it's over 30%. But if they're using a system that's technologically not got what ours has in it, we will never get their rejection rate down to less than 2%. So they would have to be on our system to be able to do that. Sometimes that can mean a huge difference. Now, we can also import their current patient data into our system. So if they want to just let us import it, that's fine too. We can do that either way. These are great questions, by the way. Ada says, is it easier to market in big cities or just doesn't matter? Ada, actually, there's licensees who would argue that it's easier to market in a smaller area, but it doesn't matter because there are doctors everywhere who are struggling to stay in private practice, and they're struggling with running their business. You know, doctors don't think of their practice as a business, right? They think of it as a medical practice, but bottom line, it's a business. It has to make a profit at the end of the month and, to be able to pay the people who work there, right? And keep the doctor in business. So we're going to show you how to guide that doctor and help that doctor be more successful, bring in more money than they've ever brought in their practice, and you become the hero or the heroine of that doctor. So it doesn't really matter. I personally think that some of the doctors in outlying areas, smaller communities, are not approached by anybody as much as the doctors in the big cities. So, you know, there's an advantage to that too. David says, how often do you have to interact with the insurance companies? David, you'll be amazed because we have a system technology that will get those claims through on the first pass, at least 98% of them, right? You don't have to do hardly any interaction with the insurance companies. And when you do, it can be all done electronically. Is there a time when you might need to call an insurance company? Yes, but ours has built-in verification that the patient is covered without ever doing anything but pushing a button in our system, and it'll tell you that, yes, this patient it's got real-time connection to the insurance company's database. So no, you don't have to interface much at all. We do let you call some of our licensees that are, you know, willing to take phone calls from people, and you can ask them that question, David, because they would be the ones who would tell you, you know, honestly, I'm not doing it day by day, so I don't know. But from our licensees, we hear there's very little interaction about that. Same way with dealing with patients, David. You won't be dealing with patients because we have a patient portal that has everything that the patient needs inside of it, including all the information about their billing. So now, again, does that mean you would never speak to a patient? No, I'm just saying that in general, you don't spend hardly any time at all with that because of our technology. So I'm going to get right back into the technology here in just a second, if I can find where I was on this thing here. I think I was showing this maybe. No, we've already talked about that. Here we go. Okay, so here's the next way to get in front of a doctor. Don't get in front of a doctor. That's right. You let sales reps. Folks, we have a whole program on how to find, hire, train. We have all the training videos for the salespeople that you hire as independent contractors. Now that means that you're paying these people on a commission basis, which means when they bring you an agreement or put you in contact with a doctor that eventually, you know, becomes a client, then you pay them a commission. Not until. So you're not out anything up front. Believe it or not, there are people who love to sell. See these 5 young people right here? Love to go out and sell. Why? Because they're motivated. There's lots of money to be made in sales. And when you show these sales reps how they can build up a residual income in this business working for you, yeah, month after month, they can make money off of an account that they bring to you. We're going to show you how to do that. Again, in our training, we go into detail about that. But this is a great way, if you don't have the time or the inclination to do any marketing even, to go out and find people who will put you in front of a doctor. Great way to build your business. We've got licensees who you can talk to that will verify that that's exactly what they did, is they just found somebody who could go out and get the patients for you. Oh, David says, great. I love it. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're loving it. Let's go right on here. Now, here's another way to, well, we've already talked about number 1, how to get in front of a doctor. So, folks, I didn't cover everything that we cover in that week-long training class just because I'm trying to compact this into an hour's time so that you can understand why we can help you market your business without having to do any sales. Now, bottom line is there's nothing that's marketed anywhere in America that somebody didn't do some kind of selling by doing something. What I'm showing you is that it's not the typical what you think of as sales, because look, all you have to do is help that doctor to find their pain. We're going to show you that they have pain, just like a doctor examines you to find out where your pain is. And, you know, they start poking you. Does it hurt here? Does it hurt here? Oh, we're going to do the same thing for them. Yeah, we have a practice analysis, we call it. It's actually like a 3-page questionnaire that has all kinds of questions we've developed over the years, that when you ask these of the office manager, she's usually, or he or she is usually the one that knows the answers to those questions, you will find where the pain is. And believe me, you are going to be shocked, just like every one of our licensees are when they start doing these practice analyses, that there is so much pain out there from a financial standpoint. They don't know what they're doing. They think what they're doing is okay because they do get checks in the mail every week, right? They look at them. Oh, here's a check from Aetna. Here's one from National Insurance Company. But they're not getting the maximum revenue that they could be getting. Folks, if you can sell $100 bills on the corner for $1, if you could do that, just say, people, here's a $100 bill. Can you give me $1? I'll give you this $100 bill. If you can do that, you can sell this product and service, because that's all we have to sell is more money. Yeah, more money faster into the practice. And believe me, that opens up some big, wide open opportunities for you. So we're going to show you how to find that pain using that practice analysis. Here's a couple of pages of it just to kind of illustrate to you that we've got it all worked out for you. All of our documents, by the way, are in Word format, which means that you can go in and edit them any way you want to. But folks, these questions have been proven to get exactly what you need to come back to your office and prepare a professional proposal for that doctor's office. So we're going to show you how to do that. By the way, one of the ways you can demonstrate your competitive advantage out there in the marketplace is by letting us do a live demo for your prospective doctor. That's right. Look in this illustration here that I've got up on the screen. This is our cloud-based service. We're using GoToWebinar today. So we use that same system from this company that allows us to show in real time a demonstration of our billing system and our electronic medical record system. So the doctors actually get to see the technology that's behind what you're going to do for them. And it's marvelous because you can be at your computer, as you see here in this illustration up at the top there. There's a couple who are licensees of our company, right? They've set up this live demonstration that our staff is doing on behalf of you at no cost, by the way. That's included. As many demos as you want are included in your one-time licensing fee to ABS. And then there's the doctor and their staff. Now, sometimes the licensees like to go to the doctor's office and be right there and watch it with them so they can answer questions. But during the demo, the doctor can ask us and our staff all the questions they want. So we're doing a live demo of our technology and answering all their questions for you. Again, folks, this is not your typical go out and try to sell somebody on something. We're going to do all the selling on this live demo. And the doctors absolutely love it. They eat this up. You will hear them on the phone if you're at your home, or in person. You'll hear them gasping sometimes and saying to one another, wow, did you see that? I didn't know that was possible. Because folks, ours is leading edge technology and they will be impressed. And now get this, about half of all the doctors that see this live demo engage with our licensees. Now, anybody who's been in sales in the past or done some marketing knows that a 50% close rate is pretty good. In fact, it's almost unheard of in any industry. We can do that, folks, because we have something that's very unique. It is a competitive advantage that none of your other competitors anywhere in the country have. No other billing company in your area right now has this kind of technology. You can ask for a demo yourself, by the way. If you haven't seen this yourself, since it takes about 30, 45 minutes to show it to you, we set these up one-on-one. Just get back with the person who sent you the email for this particular webinar and just tell them, I'd like to see that demo one-on-one. Again, we're not going to try to sell you anything on that. We're going to show you what we have and let you, by doing your due diligence, decide whether this business is right for you. So that's another way that we can demonstrate your competitive advantages with these live demos. By the way, you set those up online using our licensee support site. Now you're seeing a little small picture of it right here in the middle of the screen. Folks, this thing has hundreds of documents and videos and training modules. Just a ton of information out there. One of the things we have is a page on that site that you can go to. It's illustrated here on the right, where you just fill this out. This is where you actually request that live demo for that doctor. You get two times and 2 dates from the doctor that would be acceptable for them, and you send this into us, and we tell you which one that we can set that up for, and then we coordinate that with you through email. It's a wonderful method we have of getting somebody to do all the work for you. Now, think about how this positions you. Remember, we're doing the demo, and it's as if we are on your team. Well, guess what? That's how you can refer to it. Let me get with my team, my IT team, and see if I can set up this demo for you. And then we do the demo for you. Again, folks, from a positioning standpoint, it just doesn't get any better than this. Excuse me. Okay. During that demo, by the way, we'll actually show them live in a live account, although it's all fake information. We don't want to share, any patient information with anybody, even a doctor. But we'll show a live account through the internet, through the cloud that's actually being used like this. And you'll get to see it, if you're watching the demo yourself, of course, as well. iClaim is our unique product out there in the marketplace that does things you will not believe. The doctors are very impressed when they see it, by the way. We'll go through it step by step, all the menus, we'll show you exactly how it works. And folks, the great thing is that this is updated on a regular basis. So literally every time you log in to the website that this runs off of with your credentials that we give you, you'll be seeing a updated version. You never have to download and update patches and remove the old version and so forth. This is all over the cloud, over the web. And folks, everybody's using that nowadays. I guess I used to have to explain what the cloud is, but I guess you understand that it's just a server somewhere else in the world. And we have redundant servers, by the way. That means they're duplicate servers. If one goes down, the other one kicks in. And then those are backed up nightly off-site. So it's a very great system. The doctors love it. They can actually log in using their cell phone from the golf course and see anything they want to see about their practice. Like I said, they love it when they actually see this. We also go through the electronic medical record system. Now, this is something that doctors use when they're actually engaging with patients. So even though I'm showing a desktop computer monitor here, usually this is run right on an iPad. That's right, or a tablet of any kind. The doctor can have that right in front of them, tapping the buttons. You'll notice it has great big buttons there so that a person's finger can easily push those big yellow buttons, they're called, and run this from there, putting in all the information about that encounter with that patient live during the encounter. And then even when the patient leaves, he can dictate, yes, using his iPad or tablet, they can just tap a little button and dictate their notes right into the system, and it will translate it from their voice into text notes. You'll have to see this to believe it, but it's great information. And again, there's a screenshot of what they'll be. We'll go through that step by step and answer all the doctor's questions about it. You don't have to know a whole lot about the EMR, the electronic medical records, of course, because the doctor's using that. And by the way, you'll see here in a moment when we talk about implementing this that we do all that training for the doctor and their staff. Now, here's another way that you can establish your credibility by using the book that I showed you earlier. I showed you the copy of the forward. Well, here's the front cover of the book. Now, this book is called A New Thriving Medical Practice: How to Get Off the Hamster Wheel, Work Smarter, Not Harder, Generate More Revenue, and Enjoy Greater Satisfaction in the Post-Obamacare Era. Folks, this is as up-to-date and as late information as the doctor can possibly get. And it appeals to doctors because some of them are not thriving like they think they should be. They're not making the money that they should. So we're gonna show you how to use this book. It's available on Amazon, as I mentioned earlier, for $24.95. But don't go buy it, folks. We'll send you an electronic copy of it. Just ask the person who invited you to this webinar, and we'll send you an electronic copy of it. But the point is that you can actually buy this book from us for our printing cost. Now, you may not realize books can be printed this cheap, but we get these for $4 a copy. That's right. It's a paperback book. I showed it here a while ago. Here, I'll hold it up here live. And the great thing is that it can have your name right on the bottom. Let me hold that up there so you can see that. See that? Forward by Susan Smith, CMRM. That's Certified Medical Revenue Manager. Well, you can have that put on the book and your name inside the book in the forward at basically no cost, except for the cost of the books themselves. We do all that for you. That's a part of your license fee. And folks, you could pay $2,000 or $3,000 just to have a book where you are on the cover of the book with a doctor and myself. Now, they don't know who I am, but they know a doctor knows another doctor, and they like to hear from other doctors. So when you give them this book as a part of your marketing campaign, we'll show you how to get this in the hands of the doctor. We'll show you how to mark it up with certain little highlighted sections and little sticky notes that you hand to the doctor. It's a very unique way of marketing. All I can say is give out enough of these books and you'll have your phone ringing off the hook, because doctors will glance at those highlighted sections you've marked and realize that they might have a problem. They all do. They just we need to point out the pain to them, and we do that in this book. Here's another way you show your expertise. When you come back, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to be able to show them. This is a folder. This is just a nice cardboard folder that's got some very generic wording on there. It also has on the inside some more information here. And you can include some of those flyers I showed you earlier inside the pockets inside this folder. But the great thing is that your proposal is already created. We have a template that you simply fill in the blanks and replace the templated information with your own personalized information. And your proposal is ready to give to the doctor. It shows just 2 pages of it here, but some of these proposals can be 8, 10, 12 pages long. One of the things that are in this proposal is this document right here. I'm going to actually bring this up on the screen so you can see this, because folks, this is what does all the selling for you. This is why we say that you can market this without selling. Now, I know this is hard to see on your screen. I'm going to try to enlarge this as big as I can where you can still see it. It's the Practice Revenue Report. And the great thing about this is that we already have it created, of course, that you just plug in the numbers that you'll be getting from the office manager or the doctor in some cases. And you plug them into this. It's a spreadsheet that does all the calculations for you. In this particular case, this is a doctor that's only doing 300 claims a month, but they have an average rejection rate of about 25%. So they're only bringing in, netting about $17,500 a month. We're going to show them how, by reducing their rejection rate to less than 2%, we can get their revenue up to another $10,000 a month. Yeah. And now, folks, that doesn't sound like much until you look at the bottom line here. The increased revenue per year for this particular doctor was $122,000 a year increased revenue. Now, I don't know about you, but for some doctors, that's a nice raise. It might mean the difference between them going out of business, out of practice, and staying in practice, right? So here's why I say that this sells itself. When you give this to the doctor and they see that bottom line number and know that it's based on the numbers that they gave you, all that they could possibly say is, I don't like the way you look and I don't want to do business with you. Get out of here, right? Because basically what they say is, I don't know why I wouldn't try it. Look, if you could do half of that, if you could only increase their revenue by $60,000 a year, that's a nice down payment on a nice car. Wouldn't you agree? Or a motorhome or whatever they want to spend it on, a vacation for their family. Or maybe they want to just increase their staff's salaries. They want to buy new equipment. They want to expand. Maybe they want to hire some new people. That's what revenue does for you, folks. Cash flow is what it's all about. And we're going to show you how to help doctors with that. This is more pages from the proposal. We have them purposely small here just so you don't get too bogged down in the details. But the fact is that we'll show you how to fill this in. We can even help you with this stuff, folks. That's part of what our support's all about. And when you take it to the doctor, it's just a pick and choose what they want. And there's some more pages from it. It's all worked out already. All you do is just, you're going to put in your logo at the top and your name at the bottom, and change, the figures that you want to quote this particular doctor. So it's all done for you. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Here is Serafina says, do you have to already have billing experience and certification, or is that what's covered in the week-long workshop? That's correct, Serafina. We give you all that you need to know. In fact, when you leave our live training workshop here in Dallas, it's 40 hours of training. You will know more than 99% of all office managers about medical billing, because we teach you everything you need to know. Now, is that all you'll ever need to know? No. That's why we do ongoing training on a regular basis for our licensees, again, at no extra cost, just to keep you up on what's going on. And it's a great way for you to stay on top of everything. Riley says, at what point after paying the license fee could you begin marketing for clients? Well, Riley, in theory, you could finish your paperwork with us, do your funding, and we ship all the material to you, all the marketing material to you. So you could get started before you even came to the live training workshop, if that's what you wanted to do. And if you need to do some online home study, we can show you how to do that as well. So you can get started as quickly as you want to. Yeah. Okay. These are great questions. Thanks for sending those in, guys. All right. What am I showing here? Oh yeah. This is point number 5, implementing in the practice. Now, you may be thinking, well, how do I get this up and running? Well, folks, we have a website, again, that the doctor and their staff go to that shows step by step how to get it set up in their office. Yeah. And they can just do some live webinars with our training staff, or there's some recordings that they can watch to learn on their own, just however they like to learn. So folks, this is how you implement that without you having to do hardly anything. You basically get it all set up, arrange for the training for their staff, and then just make sure that they show up for that training. And then we do all the training to get them up to speed on it. Depending on whether if they're just you do their billing, there's not a whole lot that they need to know about the system. They may want to use our real-time live scheduling system that we have built in to do all their scheduling for their patients, or they might want to, actually see and have all of their patients automatically verified in real time that they're covered by their insurance. We can show them how to use that using our online training resources. And then, folks, you have a whole staff, my staff of people, located in several offices, by the way, across the United States, that can help you with anything that you need. Folks, we literally give lifetime support. Now, the reason we do that is because we make money on all the transactions that go through our system. So we want to support you, because the more money you make and the more clients you have, the more money we make as a company. Does that make sense? So the lifetime support is included, no extra cost. Folks, there's no hidden fees. You're not gonna pay for upgrades or updates or new user seats or anything like that. I just don't believe in nickel and diming someone. When you pay our license fee, that's currently $25,990 or $26,000, you get everything. All the marketing materials, all of our support, access to our online support site that I just showed you earlier, the live demos that we do for you. All that's included, and you're never charged another penny for any of that. Okay, now let me introduce to you your new business partner. How would you like to be in this business, helping doctors with their revenue, and be in partnership with another doctor? Well, I've found that doctor for you, Dr. Vicki Rackner. She's a retired general surgeon after seeing thousands of patients in her own private practice and outsourcing her own billing. She now is engaged helping other business owners like you engage with doctors, people like CPAs and financial planners and people like that, realtors. Those are the people that she works with. She also speaks nationally. She's written several books, as you can see here in this illustration, and she's been on radio and television across America. So she's well known. We've arranged for you to be partners with Dr. Vicki Rackner. That's why we can put your name on the front of the book with her. So when you come to our live training, you'll be introduced to Dr. Vicki, and you'll get to learn more about that. But folks, this alone, your partnership with a doctor, gives you such credibility in this business that this ought to be worth $26,000 just in and of itself. The partnership that we've arranged for you to have with Dr. Vicki Rackner. She and I wrote the book that I showed you earlier, and she and I just finished a brand new book here called Get More Doctor Clients Now. Your blueprint for explosive business growth by acquiring all the doctor clients you can handle. Now, folks, this is all the knowledge that she and I together, probably over 45 or 50 years of experience. We've put all this into a book, a little over 100 pages, that condenses down the tips and the tricks and the secrets and all that you need to know to get all the doctor clients you need. Now, this is why we did this, folks, because in any business that you're looking at, I mean, some of you are looking at all kinds of business opportunities that are out there, I know, and franchises. You ask them if they have a professional like Dr. Vicki Rackner who's actually written the book on how to get clients. No other business that I know of has the details about getting clients that we cover in this book and at the live training workshop, of course. So, folks, I just wanted to show you that because we just published it. It just came out. I have a hard copy of it right here somewhere on my desk. Oh, here it is right here. And this is a proof copy. But this will be given to you, of course, as a part of your package. This is not a book that's for sale or ever will be for sale on Amazon or anywhere else. It's privately published just for ABS licensees, graduates of the Medical Revenue Management Association of America, our training program. All right. Well, hey, we've got about 5 minutes here, and I see a few more questions coming in.